Hello, I'm Deb Knight. Welcome to A Current Affair. For retiree John, a paddle in his kayak wouldn't be the same without his dog Emma. The pair are best friends. But they've landed in hot water after John copped an eye-watering fine. And he's not happy.
It's hard to tell who enjoys their time on the water more. John and his poodle cross Emma have been paddling the waterways of the Gold Coast together for 11 years.
Thank you.
And they've never had a single issue until now.
Just before I got to the water, he ran up with his partner and he said, "Hey mate, stop, I want to talk to you." And then he just swooped in and started asking me questions. "Do you want to go to Bud's Beach? Do you want to go to Bud's Beach? You'd like to go to Bud's Beach? Yeah, come on, let's go. Come on, let's go."
John lives a few minutes away from Bud's Beach, a tiny stretch of sand on the canal at Surfers Paradise. He drives his van down to the water's edge and carries his kayak roughly 10 metres across the shoreline. Emma is often at his side or in the kayak itself, but it was here where John was stopped by a council officer.
I said, what do you want my name and my address for?" He said, "Oh, we're just checking." And he didn't say he was going to fine me or anything else.
John says he was then allowed to carry on with his kayak, but a few days later received a follow-up phone call.
And he said, "Oh, we've been assessing everything and we found that you're guilty of having your dog without being on a lead, so we're going to fine you." And I said, "How much?" And he said, $806.
Yep, $806 for failure to exercise effective control of a non-regulated dog in a public place.
I just said I thought that it was very unfair, and I said I was only travelling from my van to the water. It's like I didn't think there was anything wrong with it.
There are signs further up Bud's Beach that state dogs must be restrained, and John does use a lead when he takes Emma for a walk.
Come on, let's go. I wasn't wandering along the footpath or in public areas or anywhere. I was just travelling from the car to the water. I really didn't think that I was doing anything wrong, but the guy was adamant that, I didn't have the dog on the lead, so that was it. And if I didn't pay it by 28 days, I would be charged extra.
The original infringement alone is a huge amount of money for John, particularly at this time of year.
I'm going to be doing without things over Christmas because of the fine.
It's wrong. We're trying to survive, and it's just another stress that I didn't need.
Robin owns a fashion boutique on the Sunshine Coast. She too was hit with an $806 fine. She had her dog Violet's lead under her foot while she was on a coffee break.
She was on a lead and collar, she was behaving properly. If you went to all the cafes and everything in the mornings, most people have their dogs underneath their foot.
The massive fine's part of a new state government canine crackdown aimed at preventing attacks. But it's up to councils to enforce the laws and to decide whether a fine is warranted. Gold Coast City Council telling A Current Affair,
"Officers will provide both an enforcement and educational approach when issuing infringements."
But John says, given he's never been in trouble with Emma,
Steve.
council should have at least given him a warning.
I would like them to give me at least the benefit of the doubt. Under the circumstances, either withdraw the fine or give me a small fine, but not $800. It's not right.
Yeah, some common sense wouldn't go astray. Remember when getting a trade was for people who couldn't see themselves going to uni? How times have changed. Now a trade is a road to security, success and financial freedom because we need tradies now more than ever. The result, young men and women making it their first choice for a career.
So what are you actually doing, Jensen?
I'm actually creating a design model for my laptop that I'm going to create using this machine.
It's pretty clever. I could not do that in 100 years, mate.
They're the young guns and the bright sparks. A cut above.
Well, hopefully for you it becomes the staircase to richness and happiness.
Yes, I hope so.
From all-female classes
I love every aspect of the job.
to mixed classes.
In this situation, it'd be a two-core on earth, wouldn't it?
Meet the future of Australia's housing industry. We just need lots more of them.
Yeah, I think we're in good hands if the kids here are in charge of the country.
I think the women that are choosing trades can see the future, work for myself, do a little bit on the side. I don't have to work full-time. I can work around the kids as well.
Liz Jantz is head of construction at Holmes Glen Institute in Melbourne. They're encouraging more females to take up a trade, and they are.
Fourth year electrician.
Fourth year carpentry.
Fourth year electrician.
Second year plumber. Second year stair builder and joiner.
Second year wall and floor tiler.
Third year plumber.
Welcome all. Have a seat. There's so many trades that women can get into and enjoy and do well.
Female apprentice numbers are rising.
What would you say to young women thinking about joining a trade?
I'd say go for it. Don't think about it. Do it.
What's it like being an apprentice plumber?
I absolutely love it. I wish I did it earlier, to be honest.
More apprentices now are mature age. Hayley is a 37-year-old mother of 4.
Ready? I looked through all the trades and I thought I'll give plumbing a go. I didn't know if I'd actually love it, but now I'm in it. I didn't realise how broad it was. I absolutely love it. Every day is different.
Sparky Shannon is 29.
I feel like there's so many one-of-a-lifetime opportunities within the trade sector. It's unfair that all the men get to have all the fun. Us women deserve it too.
For 18-year-old Hannah, tiling is in her blood.
My dad was a wall and floor tiler as well.
It must be very rewarding seeing your amazing work.
It is. Once at the start, it's like, oh, yeah, it's all right. But then once you get it done, grouted and everything, it looks awesome. And you're like, this is just awesome.
Over at Harvester Technical College, these pre-apprentices are on fire.
I want to be a plumber because there's a lot of opportunities to grow, learn, and I think we'll make a good living.
Now, you want to go into avionics?
Aviation, yes. So doing the electrical work on planes.
Harvester Technical College is all about setting up students for success in a career in the trades.
Trudy Whiteside is the campus principal. Harvester specialises in pre-apprenticeships, a pathway to a full apprenticeship. And most of these young kids are tackling 2 trades.
The reason they do 2 trades is that they want to expand their skill set. And a lot of the skills and knowledge that they gain through those certificates is extremely transferable across all trade areas.
They love a housing announcement, the federal and state governments, but who's going to build the promised projects?
We need an additional 83,000 trades in order to support the government target of 1.2 million homes. And that's across the board.
Jocelyn Martin, Managing Director of the Housing Industry Association, says governments need to do more to attract more people, especially females, into the trades.
We have to look at our apprentice incentive system and make sure that it is sustainable. We need more carpenters, about 22,000 more carpenters, and about 17,000 more plumbers and more electricians as well.
You two are part of the solution to this national tradie shortage and skills shortage. How do you feel about that?
I'm pretty excited to sort of help the growth of the country and fill the quota of all the houses that we need.
You're the future, Amelia.
Yeah, and help fix it, hopefully, and improve it so there's more houses.
Right now, it's estimated 3% of tradies are female, but that number is growing.
There's plenty of workplaces who are more than happy to have women in the trade, so it's definitely something I'd say yes to. Just give it a go.
These young women must feel empowered doing what they're doing.
Oh, they do. The groups that we've had go through in the recent last 2 years, many of them are career changes, and I think they've surprised themselves in what they can do.
Hey, what's the sell?
It changed my life. I love going to work every day. My worst days that I experience on the job as a tradeswoman are probably equal to my best days in all my other jobs.
They're terrific. When Ron's sister Judy died, he worked through his grief to arrange a respectful farewell. Then council got involved and government red tape turned Judy's goodbye into frustration and anger for her family.
Losing a loved one is hard enough.
I was there for her, she was there for me.
Without having to battle with a council to bury them.
Council decided, in all their glory, that at the 3 p.m. on the Tuesday, the day before the funeral, at 10 a.m. on the Wednesday, we will cancel the funeral.
Ron's sister, Judy, died in early August from health problems. She was 62 years old and extremely loved. Among those Judy left behind, her son Alan, who lives with an intellectual disability, and her brother Ron. They all live together south of Sydney.
How would you describe Judy? Who was she as a person?
The people across the road, they used to love coming over here to pat the dogs and to see Judy.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Because they knew they were going to get an ice block or a lolly or whatever Judy had there, she gave them.
Ron says he thought losing his sister would be the hardest time in his life. But it became even more difficult after a phone call from Shellharbour City Council.
It wasn't anything sympathetic there at all. She's rang me and said, "We haven't received the money, so we're sorry, we're cancelling the funeral."
Ron was liaising with 2 government agencies to get payment to council for the burial. 2 levels of bureaucracy to navigate while trying to organise a funeral. The hardest part, though, was breaking the news to Alan, who Ron now cares for.
I had to try and explain it to Alan. He's got a brain of about a 12-year-old boy. "Hey mate, you can't go and see your mum tomorrow to pay your final goodbye to her because council has cancelled the funeral." And his exact words was, "So I can't say go and say goodbye to mum." He was in tears. I had to get his support worker over to help me calm him down.
It was hard for me.
Alan says he's been struggling to cope since losing his mum.
Upsetting that when my uncle told me, I was nearly in tears.
For legal reasons, we can't name the state agency. But what we can tell you is this was a bill that was never going to go unpaid. This was a matter of red tape. One government organisation waiting for a simple sign-off from a government agency. Shellharbour City Council wouldn't go on camera, telling A Current Affair via email it was unable to grant interment rights, which are legally required before a burial because the fee hadn't been paid. Ron believes the issues could have been worked out if they'd simply talked to each other, and cancelling was cruel. The agency doesn't comment on individual cases, but said to A Current Affair, requests for payment to third parties must be supported by relevant documentation, including a tax invoice. A red tape debacle. You can see why Ron was confused.
What do you have to say to the council? Do you feel that it's been heartless?
Yes, very disrespectful. Disgraceful, in fact. Low-down mongrels to do that to any family in this sort of situation.
A day after the funeral should have gone ahead, confirmation came through from the New South Wales agency.
And when I got home, I just cried. I was a wreck.
A week later, Judy's funeral was held.
It was nice and short, but it's a very happy time to sit down and celebrate her life.
But the stress will stay with Ron and Alan.
Ron, you say you don't want compensation from the council. What do you want?
All you want is to bury your loved one and let them rest in peace. Judy couldn't do that. You know, there's people out there battling their everyday needs, let alone paying for a funeral. Then for council to go and do that to you, it's pretty low.
Yeah, it's very cruel. And for the record, Ron and Alan did eventually get that apology. Now the supermarket boss bucking the trend. Brent Bugg digs his job and supports local producers, and customers can't get enough of it.
Most of the people that we buy our products from, I know them personally. fully organic.
Certified organic, yeah.
Certified organic. It's not just about picking something off the shelf, it's knowing where it comes from.
It's supporting the local industry and it's unadulterated fresh food.
It's important to support businesses where you can, and this is flourishing.
Nestled between the Gold Coast and Byron Bay, you'll find the Tweed Valley, where fresh produce comes from nearby farms and seafood from local waters.
I just love sustainably, ethically grown food, and I want people to enjoy it.
Brett Bugg owns the local IGA, and he's making it his mission to source every product possible within a stone's throw of the shop.
We stock what our community wants. We stock things that are local to our environment.
From the crack of dawn, Brett hits the road. His first stop, Bio-Organic Farm.
Hey mate, how you going?
Hey Mr. Brett, good thank you. How are you?
Located just 1 kilometre down the road from the IGA, this is about as local as it gets.
It's a family business that we started, 20-something years ago. My mum and dad started it.
Ugi Mishtla is the farmer behind all Brett's organic produce.
It's as fresh as it could possibly be. It's picked this morning and it'll go to Brett's store in the next 2 hours, and then it's sold to the customers straight away.
Making the trip up to 3 times a week, Brett's cutting out the middleman, making it cheaper at the checkout.
The larger retailers, they would generally go through their wholesale distribution channels, and it could be stored for days or weeks on end before it's actually sold directly to the consumer.
It doesn't have all the road miles, it doesn't go through other sets of hands, so our customers can buy it at a better price.
You're supporting local farmers and buying really yummy stuff, because I love to cook, so, it's important that the quality is there all the time, and it is here.
His seafood also reels in the customers, with 3 full-time fishermen delivering the catch of the day directly from the Tweed River.
The fish is just coming from down the road. You know that what you're eating is fresh.
Brett's second stop of the day is the marina.
Morning Kev, how'd you go?
Good morning, Brett.
After hauling in the night's catch, Brett's first to stake his claim on Kev's prawns. But not before a quick taste test.
Best prawn in the world, the Tweed prawn.
Oh mate, that's good. That's so good.
After 50 years fishing in these waters, Kev is a bit biased.
You can't beat it. We got the best seafood in the world here, and it's good to see it get eaten and consumed locally.
And more customers, like Lindsay Bamping, are making the journey to Brett's store.
How long does it take you in the car?
About 40 minutes.
It's a long way to go to get your groceries.
It is, but it's so worth it.
These are beautiful and sweet, they're always a bit smaller. And here we've got some fantastic size 10, 15 fresh king prawns. We'll probably end up outstripping supply. Our demand's that high for these good quality products.
Well, I feel like you need to get these safely in your Eskin in the car.
We're not the only one. My customers are the only one that want these.
But before he heads back to base, Brett's got one final sweet stop to make.
Yeah, I think that's pretty.
Super pretty. They sell really well.
Carly Woodward runs Caldera Flower Farm. After a chat over the checkout with Brett, business bloomed.
Flowers mostly are cut the morning that we bunch them, and that Brett comes and collects them from the farm. So I think it just gives people an opportunity to have these beautiful fresh flowers that are ever changing with the seasons.
The best thing about this is that the money stays here. We buy locally, our customers buy locally, the money stays locally. So we've been able to help a lot of companies or even mum and dads, and now they get rewarded because they can see their product on our shelves.
Up next, a cool brew. The oldest living Melbourne Cup champ thriving in retirement.
Yeah, he's 30 now, and I can remember the Melbourne Cup like it was yesterday, really.
Welcome back. Next Tuesday, another Melbourne Cup will be run and won, and the 164th winner of the race that stops a nation will become an instant legend of the turf. The 140th champion, though, won't care much. Brew is taking it easy.
When the Melbourne Cup winner is led back into this famous mounting yard next Tuesday afternoon, he or she will have become an instant living legend. And about half an hour away from here, there's a retirement home for thoroughbreds. It's called Living Legends. It's a playground of champions. 2015 Melbourne Cup winner Prince of Penzance is here.
Prince of Penzance from Max Dynamite. Prince of Penzance, it's history in Bloomington, Michelle Lane. Prince of Penzance beat Max Dynamite.
The Prince shares a paddock with 2016 champ El Mandan.
El Mandan putting his nose in front of Heartbreak City. They hit the line. El Mandan won it by a very narrow margin from Heartbreak City.
But the elder statesman around these parts is this bloke, the mighty Brew.
Yeah, he's 30 now, and I can remember the Melbourne Cup like it was yesterday, really.
Yes, the oldest living Melbourne Cup survivor so far, and he's going strong, as you can see.
His roomie is star sprinter Apache Cat. They're known as the Odd Couple. And back on that first Tuesday in November of 2000, Brew saluted at the very handy odds of about $18.
It's Brew going to the lead with 150 left to go on the cup. Brew 2 lengths in front now. He's drawing clear of Yippee-Yo-Yo and Brew down to the post. Brew first, 2 lengths.
I think no matter where you go and you've trained a Melbourne Cup winner, people remember you for that.
Kiwi Mike Moroney had struck gold less than a year after setting up his training base in Melbourne.
The first person that actually said something to me on the TV station was actually a New Zealand station. And he put his hand on my shoulder and he said, Mike Moroney, you just trained the Melbourne Cup winner. And I went, wow, it just hit then.
As Moroney and the winning connections were leaving the track that night, they ran into a group of young fellas, oblivious who they were sharing tales of their good luck with.
And they just said, oh, we've had a great day, we backed the Melbourne Cup winner. He said, but how couldn't you? And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, the Foster's Melbourne Cup, last running, a horse called Brew, barrier 24, number 24, and 24 stubbies when you buy a slab. He said, so how couldn't you?
24 years on from that famous day, it would seem Moroney is still defying the odds. This is the closest he's been to a racetrack in 6 months as he recovers from a range of health battles, including cancer.
Like, I think the only other time I'd ever been to hospital was to have a tonsils out when I was young. All of a sudden I've lived in one for a while, so...
Moroney and Brew make a pretty good double. Both are proving to be indestructible. Andrew Clark is a vet by profession. Living Legends is his baby.
We're open to the public. We want people to come and enjoy the horses.
You find a lot of people come from interstate and also overseas?
Yeah, this time of year especially. It's our busiest time.
There's only one blemish against Brew's name. He failed the test to join the Victoria Police.
He cost them about $7,500 and running other horses to trams and kicking cars, and they couldn't trust him with children in the finish, so he failed.
Perhaps that's why Brew was a favourite with crime figure Chopper Reid. He saw it as a badge of honour.
And he just loved the horse for that reason, you know.
Oh, Chopper was a regular. Chopper would come with a family. Chopper, the horses liked Chopper. He was very keen on the horses, but there was no doubt this was his favourite.
A cup win, a brush with Victoria Police and a famous crime figure. After such a colourful life, both Brew and Mike are happy to steer clear of the Flemington frenzy this Tuesday and bask in their own legend, where the legends live.
Isn't it great to see those wonderful horses doing well? And of course, the Melbourne Cup is live and free right here on 9. Can't wait. Coming up, Jackie O gives us the whole truth on her life, loves and lies.
How do you live a lie and have so many secrets for so many years?
It's hard work. It is hard work.
Next week, confessions of a radio star.
Jackie O's Demons. How do you live a lie and have so many secrets for so many years?
It's hard work. It is hard work.
Her painful journey.
I had stopped breathing.
Did you care if you lived or died?
Not really.
Wow.
Don't miss that Monday. And that's our program. I'm Deb Knight. Thanks for your company. From the team, enjoy your evening. Good night.